Welcome to the Shikama Live Show with your host, Shikama. Do me a favor, watch the whole video. And here's a double whammy. If you could, tell me when you feel the video gets boring, okay? I'm being totally serious. This is how I improve. I know a lot of other people on this platform hate when the audience tells them, gives them constructive criticism, but I'm not a snowflake. I don't know if you know this. I'm not a snowflake. I don't have feelings. I don't get hurt. So tell me when you say, it was at this instance that you dropped off and I lost interest. Okay. I want to talk about a modern twist on dating and relationships, and that is that women are demanding to know the income of men. First of all, let's talk about class and how classless you are if you ask anybody about their income. That is low class. I know you probably come from low class and you haven't been taught such things, and you think it's perfectly all right to ask somebody about their income. But I'm here to tell you, as somebody who comes from high class, you do not speak of income, nor what their net worth is. You know who talks about net worth? Banks. People who are about to lend somebody millions of dollars. That's who speaks about net worth. And do you know why? Because they want to know, do you have the capability of paying back the $1 million? Those are the only acceptable people who should be talking about net worth and income. Now, I don't think you're out to lend men millions of dollars, so it's none of your goddamn business what a man makes. Now, let me clue you into where you even got the notion that you should even ask a man how much he makes. A long time ago, women made zero money. And I don't mean like they were poor or they were broke or no, they made zero money. Zero. And you say, Shikama, how did women live if they made zero money? Well, a long time ago, women didn't go to work. Women didn't do stuff. They took care of the home. That was the social construct. The man made the money and the woman took care of the home. Enter the elite, the Rockefellers and so forth. And they said, we're going about this all wrong. Men are making money and we are only taxing men. There's a whole other adult sitting in the house. Let's get this woman out of the house, make her make money, and then tax her. And we will double our tax base so that you, the government, can get bigger and bigger and bigger and give us more and more and more of the money. Oh, you don't think that's how it works? You did see the Twitter congressional hearings and how the government was telling Twitter who to take down, who to ban, who to censor. Why do you think Twitter listened to the government? Because Twitter was getting money from the government. The whole thing about Elon Musk and hating Elon Musk is he stopped the fund. He didn't take money because he doesn't need money. And he doesn't listen to the government because it doesn't have to. Now, he's got advertisers that he wants to appease, and that's a whole other discussion. But for this discussion, we're going to concentrate on the government being in bed with business and the elite businessmen offering women jobs to get them out of the home so that they could be taxed, and so that the government, who's in bed with business, gives them even more money to business. And if you're big enough, the government gives you money. Ask any farmer. Your food isn't made by Ma and Pa Jethro Johnson Thompson out on the ranch, and they've got 50 acres that they have to plow into. No. For the most part, those days are over. It's a giant corporation that pays people to farm the land, and then they take the produce and then they do all sorts of weird stuff to the to the food and they cut it 50 ways so that you have 10% food in the food that you actually eat, right? You understand that, right? So that big agribusiness, that's what it's called, gets all sorts of subsidies from the government. So the government, which doesn't make money, has to tax the population. So they want more taxpayers. So they got women out of the house into a job so that they could tax them. Okay, we got the whole history of feminism down. Good. Now, the idea of a woman asking a man how much he makes, what's his income, all that sort of stuff, that was never a woman's place. Never. You know who asked a man how much he made, what his income was, what kind of car he drove, and what kind of house he has? The father of the girl he's gonna marry. Why? Because, once again, women didn't make money. So the father, who has been paying for this moocher in his house for 18 years, wanted to know if he hands off the moocher to another man, since women don't make money, is she going to be okay? Is she going to be taken care of? And sure enough, for the most part, wealthy people asked other wealthy people, do you have enough to take care of my daughter? If not, here is some money to take care of you so you won't have to worry about taking care of my daughter for a year or up to 5 years. So that during that time, you can actually be completely free of worrying about making money, go build you a business so that after 5 years, you can have a nice nest egg and you can take care of my daughter. And that was called a dowry. I know they do dowries in India. We're not in India. So the woman asking about a man's income and is he going to take care of her comes from when women didn't make a cent, didn't make a red cent. And you also got the whole dating thing gaslighting too. The man didn't pay for the date. Oh my God. Do you know what men paid for women's dates? Do you know what kind of woman a man paid for a date? The whole idea of a man paying for a woman to eat who the woman wasn't his daughter was a man soliciting services from the woman. Yes, prostitution is the origin of dating. The man never paid for dates if he was talking about courting her or so forth and so on. During the courtship, the father of the girl paid for everything. Here's $5. Go and $5 was a lot of money. Here's $5. Go out and treat her to a lovely time, and take grandma the chaperone, so we know that there's no hanky-panky going on between you and my daughter, who you may or may not marry. All right. The father paid for the date. The man never paid for the date. Poor people, poor women, saw men paying for dates, and they got confused what was going on, because people get confused. When they see high-class people, they tend not to talk to them and ask them what they're doing. They make assumptions. So they saw men paying for dates, and the women were dressed rather fancily, because that's how you get a nice guy. You dress fancy, and he pays for your date, and then you take the guy to the house where all the women stay, and then you have him have his fun. And there's the origin of dating. At no point was courtship ever confused with dating. The problem arises when you no longer have fathers in the picture, and the entire thing goes haywire. You don't have a man paying for the date. So now the solicitor, the gentleman caller, the boyfriend now takes on the role of the father, because there is no father in the picture. You have it all wrong. Everything's just upside down. And then you have women demanding, oh, he has to buy me this and that and the other. At no point was the man ever doing that. It was the father doing that. And the whole idea was, when the father handed you off to your potential husband, the husband and the father were supposed to be in the same socioeconomic status. So that if you got Gucci and all that stuff from your father, he handed you off to a man that could potentially, eventually, buy you Gucci and all that sort of stuff. And if you know anything about wealth, wealthy people don't buy Gucci and all that sort of stuff. That's the nouveau riche. And the nouveau riche come and go. Make no bones about this. Nouveau riche don't keep their money. Why don't they keep their money? Because they're out buying Gucci and stuff like that. Wealthy people don't do that. Wealthy people has a seamstress or a tailor come to their house and make them clothes in their house. They don't go to the store and buy off the rack. And the clothes that the seamstress or the tailor makes last like 100 years. However long the actual material lasts, that's how long the clothes last. This whole idea of we're going to have a designer make a dress, put it on the princess, and the princess goes out in public with the dress on, and then we're going to retire the dress. That's a whole new notion. That's all something new, and it's all to cater to the nouveau riche and broke people who want to spend money that they can't afford on stuff that they can't afford. You are low class if you demand that a man buy you Gucci and stuff like that. You are low class. You might be nouveau riche, but that doesn't mean you're classy. Classy means you got it like that you can have a seamstress or a tailor come to your house and make you clothes. That is wealth. Gucci is not wealth. Rodeo Drive is not wealth. That's the nouveau riche. And like I said, they come and go. They literally will come into $1 million and be broke the next year or two. It happens over and over and over and over. This is why when you meet somebody wealthy, 9 times out of 10, first of all, you're not going to meet them. And if you do meet them, they will never be with all sorts of emblems all over their shirts and stuff like that, right? They're not going to have that. And the house has been in the family for a century, if not longer. And they're driving probably cars that you've never heard of, can't pronounce, or stuff like that. I believe a lot of women are trying to get attention. They have the whole dating and relationships all upside down. They don't have fathers, and so they are trying to literally make the potential boyfriend play the role of the father. Gentlemen, you have to stand your ground and say, I am not your father. That is not what this is about. If you don't have a father, probably you're not a good fit to be a wife, and you're useless as a girlfriend. I can pay for a date. And what I'm saying is I can pay for a date like they used to say I can pay for a date, right? Go get a father. Go rekindle your relationship with your father and have your father, first of all, pick out the man, first of all, because the father is going to be able to pick out a man who's genuinely good for you, and you wouldn't have this out of wedlock births. A lot of stuff would just be taken care of if you just had a father. Go find your father. There's no possible way that you're in this world without a father. He's somewhere. Probably your mother ran him off. Go find him. Thank you all for watching.